What's up, boys? This is like the second time I'm recording this video because, of course, I had to fuck it all up and forget to press record. So, this is the second time I'm making this video. I wanted to talk about what's going on with the elections, particularly who's responsible for this massive clusterfuck of a problem. And a lot of people are not going to like who I'm going to blame. Now, disclaimer before I say anything, this is just my opinion and based off of my interpretation of what I've seen in recent maybe 9 months. So this is just my opinion. This is not a fact. This is nothing tangible, proven evidence or anything like that. You know, it's just me being me and voicing my opinion. So YouTube, feel free to censor me. Anyways, who's to blame for all of this? All this massive fraud and this and that. You know what? A lot of people are not going to like what I'm going to say is responsible for it because it's not the Democrats. Don't get me wrong, the Democrats obviously doing their shady stuff and everything, but someone allowed them all to do all that stuff. And the person who allowed them is not a person, but people. It would be the Democrat Party, the Republican Party. The GOP fucked this all up for us since day one. It's no secret that Trump's biggest weakness is healthcare. When COVID struck, the GOP were dead set on, okay, this is going to be the end of his political career. He's not going to get reelected because look what this virus is doing right now. There's no way he's going to get out of this. And if you remember when they were negotiating the first bill, the CARES Act bill, it got held up. And it got held up for a long time. And it got held up for like 3-4 weeks, but you know what? That's a long time for someone that, you know, has bills to pay and all that stuff. But anyways, it got held up by Nancy Pelosi. And it got held up because, you know, Nancy Pelosi added a ton of things into that bill that have nothing to do with COVID. I actually have a pulled up here. She has, and if you go back and read the bill, you'll find all this stuff. It's just, there's like thousands of pages, but you'll find it. Last August, when Trump was signing the executive order to extend unemployment benefits in his golf course resort, there was like a whole debacle there because he called it a peaceful protest, and you know the media went crazy over that. He even mentioned what pages it's on in that video. But so this bill that I pulled up is actually the HEROES Act, not the CARES Act. Okay. It's basically the same thing because what didn't get accepted in that bill carried on over here. But I just want to tell you why it got held up. It got held up because she wanted $100 million for NASA, $20 billion for USPS, when USPS was telling her, we don't need money. We're perfectly fine on money. Just stop changing the rules of the elections so that we don't start confusing things and fucking everything up. Whatever. It is what it is. Water's under the bridge. $30 billion for the Department of Education that wants, critical race theory to be part of the curriculum. $500 million to museums. $200 million for Social Security people. For people on Social Security, and then $520 million for the people who work for Social Security services. So, and then you have like things like the JFK Performing Arts Center, and there's one that's really great. It's $25 million for cleaning supplies for the Capitol building. Who the hell spends $25 million to clean a damn building? I mean, Give me $1 million and I'll make that building spotless for a whole year. And these are like the crazy things that she had in this bill that got held up because the Republicans didn't want it, and rightfully so. So they held it up, but there was this pressure of the whole public everything shutting down. The whole public, people need money. The economy needs to be stimulated somehow. So they compromised with her, and this part of my thing is like a fact. This actually did happen. Like, you could go back and like look all this up, but they compromised with her, and they said, okay, we're gonna allow you to do mail-in voting because that has everything to do with COVID at the time in May. Oh, not May, March. I'm sorry. And she also wanted proxy voting. Now, proxy voting means when a member of the House isn't available to show up for a session to, cast their vote for whatever legislation they're trying to pass or whatever. If he's not if that person isn't able to make it to the Capitol, someone else can vote for him. So what I mean by that is, let's say, for example, Joe Biden calls me and says, hey, we got to pass this legislation. Are you going to be able to make it to the House? No, I can't. Okay, well, how are you going to do it? Oh, what do you want? What's your vote? Yes or no on this? And I tell him, and then he goes to the House and he votes for me. Basically, he's representing my state temporarily for that specific moment. And that's a big problem, because if the Democrats hold the majority, they could just pretend that all the not even tell the Republicans that there's even a session, and just pretend that there is, pretend that there isn't. They just don't answer, don't tell Republicans anything, and then go in the House and just pass whatever bill they want because they hold the majority. They're all just gonna vote yes, and then vote yes for a random person of the the Republican side, and that's it. And this is actually a real thing that they passed. And Kevin McCarthy mentioned it once on national television, never ever mentioned it again, because GOP are all a bunch of cowards, including Kevin McCarthy. Basically they passed these two bills. And later down the line, that's when all hell started breaking loose. They started changing the rules of the elections. They changed them all the way up to 3 days before the elections. They were changing rules still. And they were constantly just doing stupid things. And the Republicans, this is why I'm going to say that the Republicans are at fault at this, because the Republicans sat back and just let them do whatever they wanted. They didn't care. The Republicans do not care about the people that they represent. They don't. Some people may disagree with me, but they do not give a flying about you. They don't. If they did, they would fight harder for the COVID relief bills. They would fight harder in the Russiagate scandal. Lindsey Graham spent a half a year using the "I need subpoena power" as an excuse for him not pushing Russiagate and not holding anyone accountable for all that stuff. Then when he did receive subpoena power, he spent the next 8 months, not 8 months, 6 months, because he got it in May. He spent the next 6 months after he got it to do what? To send invitations to all these people. You think Sally Yates is gonna just be like, yeah, okay, I accept your invitation? She actually did. She was one of the stupid ones that actually showed up. But the main players in that whole scheme, they didn't accept the invitation. They said, no, we're not gonna show up. And he said, okay. And then you went on Fox and said, hey guys, stay tuned. But LindseyGraham.com, donate, please. I need money. What do you need money for? You're not doing your fucking job. Do your job and then you'll maybe get paid. And he's just not, and that's just like him just like pretending to care, but he doesn't. He doesn't care. He's sending out invitations. You just got subpoena power. You subpoena all of them. You could have had all of them locked up. We wouldn't be in the position that we are in today if he held everybody accountable, including Joe Biden. If he held them all accountable, which they were, and they need to be held accountable, and they were involved, the declassified files proves all of it. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you sitting back and doing nothing? You do your investigation, then do a criminal referral, and boom, they're gone. Instead, they spent the whole summer literally doing nothing. Does anybody know of one single Republican throughout the entire summer that did one meaningful thing? Anybody? No? Exactly. Because they haven't. They don't do anything. They don't care. They do not care about this president. They don't care about his voters. They don't care. They got these voters right now, they're hype. And they feel like they're kings of the world. So that's even worse, because now they're just really not going to care, because they could afford to lose a couple of seats in the House or whatever, because they got all these all these wins everywhere. If the Senate wasn't such a big urgency, like if it didn't come down to those two people, Loeffner and the other guy, forgot his name, but if it didn't go down to those two people, I would have been wishing right now for the Senate to lose. Obviously, I'm not going to wish them right now for that, because if we, God forbid, we lose the Senate right now, this country's fucked. But my point is that they don't deserve to be where they are. They need to be voted out, every single last one of them, except for obviously the new people that just came in. But they just don't care. They don't fight for the president. And the reason they don't fight for him, I'll tell you why. The reason they don't fight for him is because they want to go back to Bush-era politics, where they're the Republicans, the party of the corporate companies that pay them money, they get rich, and then they start endless wars and then get rich off of the military-industrial complex and status quo. They don't want to deal with minorities. They don't want to deal with 73 million voters that, immigrants and people who, immigrants, but what I mean by immigrants, I mean immigrants who became citizens and whatnot. They don't care about these people. They don't care about black people. They don't care about white people. They don't care about Chinese, brown. It doesn't matter who you are. They just do not care, because they care about that money. That's what they care about. They care about making that money. Why do you think that ever since the Republican Party became the party of the people, ever since then, and ever since Trump cut them off from getting rich, why do you think that every single time any Republican senator or congressman shows up on Hannity or any other Fox news station, or any news station for that matter, they're always constantly promoting a book? Because that's all they can do. They can just promote their books and make money off of that. Same thing with Lindsey Graham begging for money. You think that guy didn't get donations? That guy probably out-donated his opponent like 3 times over. He just, they just make it look like the numbers are so small and that he's desperate. But I don't believe that for one bit, honestly. Especially that there's so many stupid people out there in the world. All it takes is one billionaire to be like, yeah, you know what? I feel bad for Lindsey Graham. Let me give him $1 million because it doesn't do anything to me. It doesn't affect me to lose it, and gives it to him. You just don't know. And there's no way of knowing. But that's just my speculation. But, they don't care. They care about getting rich, And they're okay with Trump losing. They're completely okay with it, because if Trump loses, they go back to status quo. They don't have to worry about caring about the people. They don't have to worry about working nonstop all the time. They don't have to worry about 5 million different things that they have to do. They don't have to worry about any of that anymore because Donald Trump isn't standing there breathing down their necks and forcing them to do their fucking jobs. As simple as that. You know, like, why isn't the Senate holding hearings right now against, and I hate to say it, our military for lying to Trump and telling him that we had less people than we actually had. Like, we had more people in Iraq that he was trying to pull out and bring him home. But yet they told Trump it was only like 200 soldiers they had left. They straight up lied to him. That's treason. That's literally treason. To lie to your commander-in-chief. You're the military. You're not supposed to do that. And yet the Senate is literally dead fucking quiet. Because they don't care. They want them to stay there. They want to make the money off of those wars. They don't want to pull out our troops. They held a vote July 3rd because they wanted to pull all the troops on 4th of July. Trump tried to pull them all on 4th of July this year. He tried to bring them all home. They unanimously, both the Republicans and Democrats, all voted no to keep them there. Why are we keeping them there? Why are they there? What are they doing? And this is like literally, and they don't like I said, they don't care. They don't care, and that's what's caused this whole clusterfuck of a situation. Because the Republicans don't care. If they cared, they would have fought the Democrats on that stuff. They would have went on national media all over the place and raised alarms and said, "Listen. This is all the stuff that Nancy Pelosi wants in this bill. Why is she asking for cleaning supplies for the Capitol building for $25 million? Like, why aren't they putting her on blast and mentioning these things? They don't. They just stay fucking quiet, and then Donald Trump is the one that gets beat up by the media saying, "Oh, Trump doesn't want to pass this COVID bill." And they sit back and they don't care. They don't want to mention these things. And they know these things. They know these things are in the bill. That's why they reject it, but then eventually they have to just go with it. You know, $300 million for international disaster relief. That means we're $300 million to other countries that have a natural disaster. Why the hell are we paying for other countries? Why? You know, why are we giving $90 million to the Peace Corps? What does that have to do with COVID? $9 million for Senate expenses. What the hell is a Senate expense? Anyone know? Because I sure as hell don't. Why are the Senate getting $9 million, but the president donates his salary to COVID relief? You know, like, and it's just also, and they don't care, and they're not fighting for this president because they could give two shits if he's here or he's not, because no matter what, they're just gonna stay status quo. You know, if Biden ends up being the president, they're just gonna work out a deal with the Democrats saying, "Hey, okay, you guys are gonna keep this mail-in voting scheme going. We're not gonna stop you. But in exchange, you need to make sure that we all get reelected." And that's it. And that's it. And both parties need to get the fuck out of this country, honestly. They shouldn't be here. In neither party. We need like a third, I don't know, like independent party, or we call it the Liberation Party. I don't know. Something. Democrats, Republicans, they do not belong in our government because they're both equally as corrupt. Republicans care more about the money they make than they care about the people they represent. The Democrats care more about the money they make than the people they represent. You know, and you look right now. Half, maybe not even half, maybe more than half. I'm not 100% sure. But maybe we just say half. We just say it's half. Half of the members of the Senate and the Congress are all former lawyers. Why the hell are none of them representing Trump with lawsuits and doing anything? Nobody. It's just literally Mayor Giuliani, Sidney Powell, and a couple of other lawyers. That's it. No one else is doing anything. And these morons, people say they don't understand that, like, the fate of the country is at stake, but no, they do understand the fate of the country. They just don't care. They don't care about the country. They care about the money they make off of the country. And that's what's responsible for Trump being tied up in this clusterfuck of a situation right now. Mitch McConnell, Lindsey Graham, Kevin McCarthy, bunch of Republicans, not all of them. Let me make that clear. It's not all of the Republicans, but most of them are pieces of shit. I thought Jim Jordan was a great dude. I thought Jim Jordan was like a pit bull for the Republicans. Yeah, okay, he's in bed with big tech. That's why he literally told him what he was going to question him for when they had a hearing for Section 230. He told him ahead of time what he was going to question him with. Why would he do that? Because after looking into it, you could see that, Facebook, Twitter, they donate to him. It's just it's just a complete revolving door. It's just never going to stop. The only way it will stop, I hate to say it because it goes against everything conservatives believe in, but the only way to stop it is for Trump to literally say, fuck you all, dictatorship, I'm your king, I'm not leaving, stop me. And that's it. That's the only way you can fix it. You need somebody that's in office for like a good 10 years to clean the place up. You can't, 8 years, 4 if he doesn't get reelected, that's nothing. Joe Biden's going to destroy 4 years of Trump's work within a month. You need to solidify it. You need to literally yank people out of Congress that don't belong there, tell them to go fuck themselves, and put the people that do belong there, people who actually care about this country. And that's the only way you could literally fix things. You can't even, even if Trump's reelected at this point, what difference is it going to make? Nothing. You're just going to have the Democrats running around calling him an illegitimate president for another 4 years. Another 4 years of hoaxes, lies, smears, fake news media running around with their dicks in their hands. And you're just going to have Trump being contested on every single decision he does. And that's not going to accomplish much. I mean, it accomplished a lot this year. Trump's a beast, he doesn't stop fighting, but he's fighting against an entire government by himself, literally. They're all giving up on him. No one, where's Bill Barr? Bill Barr said he promised the nation, he looked at the camera and promised everybody that right after the elections, we're going to get serious developments in the Russiagate investigation. Well, it's the 16th already? 16th of November. Where's Bill Barr? Where's John Durham? What the hell is going on with the FBI? Why is the FBI still the FBI? They need to be completely just vanished. Literally just get rid of the fucking agency. They're so corrupt. Why is Jenny Haspel still in charge of the CIA? She's literally refusing to declassify files she got directly ordered by the president to declassify. She's saying, no, I'm not going to do it. And no one's doing anything about that. No one cares. Everyone's like, okay, no problem. You don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. And it comes down to these elections. I know, I kind of, went a little off topic, but, It all comes back to the elections because they just don't care. None of them want to fight for this president. It's sad. It's a really sad thing to see, and it's extremely frustrating. And I mean, I think you can tell how fucking angry I am. But if things don't change, if this party doesn't learn how to grow a pair of balls and how to use them, then both parties, the Democrats and the Republicans, are going to be remembered in history as the decade of the most corrupt politicians this country has ever seen. That's what they're going to be remembered as in history. You know, decades, years, like hundreds and hundreds of years from now, that's what they're going to be remembered as. The two parties that destroyed this country. That didn't know what the hell the left hand was doing from the right hand. Like, it's sad. It's really sad, but I don't even know how you could fix. I don't even know how Trump can fix it. I really don't. Republicans, I mean, there is a few good people there. You know, you have Ted Cruz, you have Devin Nunes, that, you know, if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have the whole Russiagate investigation stuff. You know, you have Matt Gaetz, Rand Paul, I'm sorry, Rand Paul, Ron Johnson, and that's it, I think. I really can't even think of any more Republicans that actually fight for this president that are in the Senate and the Congress. I'm not talking about, you know, other people that are Republicans, but no one else wants to fight for this guy, you know? It's sad. It's really, really sad. Tom Fitton, that's another person. I forgot to mention his name. Tom Fitton is probably the only main fighter, because this guy is just, he's been raising alarm bells about the mail-in fraud since like July. He's been literally spamming the hell out of Twitter. And no one even cares. Fox not once had him on their shows, except for Fox Business, which is just like, it's a parent company to Fox. But Fox itself, they didn't even have this guy show like on their shows. If Hannity had Tom Fitton every single day reciting mail-in fraud is going to be a problem, this issue would have been fixed. But, you know, Hannity's not going to do it either, because it's not beneficial for him. He doesn't want Tom Fitton. He doesn't care about him. He cares about his friend Lindsey Graham, who's going to stand on the show, and literally, I have a video, it's in this channel. You find it, it's, oh wait, no, you can't, it's unlisted. I'll link the video in the description. You can watch the video. You literally, probably 9 to 12 times in one single segment with Hannity, Lindsey Graham says, visit lindseygraham.com. I need your help. I need money. I need money. I need money. Literally, like, almost a dozen times he says it in one segment. That's who Hannity cares about, because Lindsey Graham is just going to call up Hannity and be like, hey, I'll split it with you. Just the other day, he was on Laura Ingram's show, and Laura Ingram just goes, yo, you're like a used car salesman. Just stop already. Like, this is annoying. You know, and she straight up just told him, she's like, you're a used car salesman. Why do you keep mentioning your donation page? You already won the elections. Why are you still mentioning it? And yeah, that's basically it. It's just the Republican Party being the status quo, all about, you know, all about going back to the way it was. And they decided that the moment COVID struck, they said, oh my God, healthcare is not Trump's strong suit. Trump is going to plummet in the polls. We need to back away from Trump and just start focusing on whoever the Democratic president is going to be and kissing his ass, so that we could go back to endless wars, and they could go back to inciting those endless wars. It's just stupid. It's really stupid. They're literally playing with a whole country, the fate of a whole country, and they're playing with it because they want to make money. It's all it is. It's all it's ever been. It's the reason why Joe Biden got elected. It's the reason why all these states are straight up refusing to even listen to the federal Supreme Court. Because it's all money. Everything has a price. And when you have the backers of Twitter, Facebook, all these billionaires, you know, George Soros and what's his name, Jeff Bezos, when you have all these people backing you up, you have literally an endless amount of money. And trust me, everyone has a price, including the federal Supreme Court. And they'll get anything overturned. They'll get any decision swung their way because they have all the money. And then when he gets elected, that's when the country goes downhill because all those people come back to collect. And they say, hey, remember all that money I gave you? So are you going to allow me to operate my business now in China? Yeah, sure, why not? Okay, thank you. See you later. Leaves, you know, company leaves to China, and boom, you just lost about 20 million jobs. You lose the jobs, you lose the economy. Boom, the economy just died. Republicans got rich. Companies got rich. Democrats got rich. And the people get depressed. Economically, I mean. And that's it. Anyways, that was just like an angry stream. I'm sorry if I came off angry. I was pissed because I literally forgot to press record and I've already said all of this. And on top of all that, all these frustrations, like with our government that's completely and utterly useless. Like Trump could probably run this government literally by himself. Like just get rid of all the parties, all the agencies, everything. Get rid of everybody and just have Trump everywhere. And I guarantee you, he would do a better job than them. Obviously, it's an impossible job. There's 5 million different things he's going to have to do a day. But I guarantee you, he would still end up doing a better job than these ass clowns. Because these ass clowns are destroying our country. And people need to speak up and people need to fight with them. Because we need to show them. We need to send them a very strong statement in the midterms. If Trump is not reelected, if Trump is not our president, we have Biden, fuck it. In the midterms, we make them suffer in Congress. We vote them all out. Vote them, every single person out. If you do it in the midterms, they're going to start listening because they're going to be like, what the hell? We just gained all these seats and then we just lost them all in 2 years? What the hell? And maybe it's going to start clicking in their heads. If it doesn't, then 2024, we vote out the Senate. We vote out the Senate, they're no longer in power, and they'll never have that power ever again. That's it. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. This was a very long rant, but I'll see you guys later. Have a good night, and probably make a video tomorrow. I need to make a video about COVID and call out the world's dumbest doctor in the world, Fauci. Anyways, I'll see you guys later.